What's up guys, it's Nofsky with Academia Audio, and today I'll be showing you how to make a tropical pop song like this.
Keeps me high, you all the time, all the time, you all the time, you all the time, all the time, you keeps me high, you all the time, all the time, you all the time, you all the time, all the time, you keeps me high.
Alright guys, so that was a tropical pop song I threw together. I won't be going over the whole song because that's quite a bit. I do want to focus on the drop. If you guys do want me to go over the whole song, please comment down below and I can make another video about how I went about structuring this, the verse, the pre-chorus, the break, all that kinds of stuff. Just let me know. I'd love to do that for you. So first thing I want to talk about is what makes tropical pop tropical pop. When you're going about making like a tropical house song or a tropical pop song or anything kind of in the tropical genre, what are some key things that we can identify? That way we can tackle it in our project. There are three key points that I've noticed when going about making this genre. The first would be the BPM. The BPM of tropical pop and tropical house and things like that is usually around the 95 to 110 range, and it's a little bit slower than house, but it kind of establishes this nice groove where it's a little more laid back and chill, and you're just kind of able to fall into that slow groove and the kick is just thumping along. The second thing I noticed about this genre is the actual drum pattern. It's kind of like a reggaeton kind of drum groove, and I think that's a huge part in tackling this genre. The last thing I noticed about this genre was sound selection and rhythm with that sound selection. So I have a few things going on. Without any further ado, let's dive into the project and I'll tell you how I utilize those three key points to end up with this. So let's go ahead and start at the synth bus. The first thing I'd like to touch on is this pluck. Not only the sound of the pluck, but the actual groove. So it's just this little soft kind of magical pluck that has that triplet timing. Da, 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 da. And the relationship between that timing and the drums timing, I think, really flow well together. I can open this up for you. This is it. The effects, the matrix, and the global. Next, I want to talk about the lead that comes in, and this is by far my favorite part of the song. This sound is actually from our Exhale Serum preset pack. If you guys haven't, go check that out. It's down below. And this is the preset. So it's just kind of my interpretation of a steel drum. The thing that makes this so cool is the MIDI. So if you notice, when I went about making this MIDI, I actually utilized two notes on top of each other, kind of as a main melody and then a harmony together. And this is what that sounds like. And to me, that just kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, like an octopus with all his tentacles with little drumsticks playing a steel drum or something. Dun, 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 dun. And it's just super fun, lighthearted. I really enjoy this lead. I think it's really what makes this song stand apart. Besides the preset from our pack, I don't have any external processing going on. Like I've said in other videos, when we went about making our presets, we wanted to make them ready to go out of the box so you guys don't have to know all this in-depth stuff about post-processing. You can just put our presets in Serum, play them in your song, and they're good to go. I do have a little bit of plate verb going on, ascend from here, and it's just at -20, just kind of giving it a little extra atmosphere. But besides that, nothing else going on. Next, let's tackle the drums, because that is the next most interesting part of the drop. I can go ahead and play them all together for you guys. Now these drums aren't too difficult. All that's going on here is I have one of our kicks going, 4 on the floor, minor processing. Next I do have this perk going on, and it has that reggaeton timing I was talking about before. And that with the kick is what gives it the reggaeton groove. Next I have a little top loop going on, and then I do have a tambourine and also a shaker. These are just loops from our pack, and please don't be afraid to use loops. Loops are so helpful. By using a loop, you're able to not worry so much about all the nitty gritty, and you can just keep flowing with your idea, right? We have this idea in our head, and we're trying to translate it into the computer, and the faster we can get there, the more accurate we'll be able to translate that. And so just slap a loop in there in the meantime. You can always go back and change it. Besides the actual samples of the drums, I have some minor processing going on. I'm not even using this EQ. I have a little bit of Saturn, just giving it some saturation, and then I have a little bit of compression going on. And that is it, guys, and it's as simple as that. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the effects section. So the effects are pretty basic. I really don't have a lot. I would recommend, when you're establishing a track, to go ahead and utilize effects. They're so helpful. They help fill out a track. I'm just using some sweeps and risers, but if I were to work on this track more and I was actually going to release it, then I probably would be adding a lot more effects. I think there's a lot of space in this track taken up by vocal chops and things like that. But definitely utilize effects. They can be so powerful for setting the tone, setting atmospheres, filling in those little spaces where it feels empty. There's so many uses for them. As far as the bass bus goes, I just have a sub just kind of thumping along, and this is what that sounds like. There isn't much processing going on. I just have a little bit of compression. I have a little bit of R bass and an EQ. Just kind of cutting everything below, we'll say 200-ish. So, and then I have a utility doing some volume automation, and that is it. Last but not least, let's talk about the vocals. So again, these are vocals. I think they're from one of the Cymatics vocal packs. But yeah, I mean, I have a few things going on, a few little nuggets of truth. So as far as the drop, I mean, I have the main vocal here. I have another instance of it, but it is pushed out. That way it gives the vocal a more wide effect. I do have a harmony going on, and then I do have a few ad-libs. And as far as the drop, I do have this vocal chop, and I did do some processing to it. I can turn all this off. This is what it sounded like before.
You all the time, you all the time.
So all I did was I put a auto-tune on there just to ensure the integrity of the vocal. I went ahead and cut some of the lows, I put some distortion, and then I put some saturation, and this is what we got after.
You all the time, you all the time.
I noticed a lot of times with pop songs and like vocal chops, like EDM pop or tropical pop or things like that, a lot of times the vocal chops are heavily distorted, and that was kind of the effect I was going for. Next, I just have the drop vocal,
Keeps me high.
and I have a few layers going on. I have an echo that just kind of echoes out. Just kind of fill up that space. It almost acts as like a sweep or something like that, just kind of bouncing around in the background. I have the wide layer.
Keeps me high.
I have the harmony.
Keeps me high.
And then I have the main.
Keeps me high.
So, and again, I did cut the lows and throw some distortion and saturation on that part. that pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys have any other questions or want me to go over any other parts of this song, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you do like these sounds, we do have a few packs down below, so be sure to check those out. You guys have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Keeps
Peace.
me high, keeps me high.